Also on today's show, 52 weeks, 50 women, one country. We meet the self-proclaimed friendship expert traveling around the U.S., sharing a meal with others, and where she's going to be in Nashville.
From the News Channel 5 Network, this is Talk of the Town.
50 women across 50 states and dozens of life-changing conversations. That's what friendship expert and author Sherry leads journey as she travels the country sharing a meal with 50 different women. This is such a big project that you have taken on, and you're here in Nashville to talk to a woman here in Tennessee for your Tennessee state. Thank you for coming on Talk of the Town to share this amazing journey with us.
Yes, absolutely. This is my first time in Tennessee.
Wow.
And it was amazing. As I flew in right at sunset, it was so beautiful driving from the airport. I don't know if anyone else has seen that, but I was like, oh, welcome to Nashville.
So you're going to talk to 50 different women in 50 states. What inspired you to do this?
I've never traveled the U.S., and I wanted to make it meaningful. And for me, I've written books about friendships, and I coach women, so what would be more meaningful than meeting a new friend in every state? So I started on this journey, and actually, you know, in the last few years, I feel like we've kind of we had to create bubbles, our safety bubbles during the pandemic.
Sure.
And so this is a way to kind of get out of that.
How many states have you been to so far?
10. Well, Nashville now is my 11th. Tennessee is my 11th state.
Have you met with the Nashville lady that you have had lunch with?
I did yesterday. Ella's on second.
Oh, fun. And so you have enjoyed your time here so far?
Yes, it's been really quick, and I drive out right after this. But, oh, my goodness, I understand why your last guest with the St. Jude race, why 50% are out of Nashville.
So tell us about the conversations that you have with these women, because, as an adult, it can be intimidating to make new connections and have friendships. What's the most interesting thing you found after just talking with these women?
You know, I'm so surprised that every visit I've had so far has been so different than the last. And I sit down with no questions planned. It's very organic. And even when I was in California, the woman I met with is a music teacher. She gave me a singing lesson. And I'm a self-described off-key, don't sing. My kids' birthdays, I'll tell my friend, can you start it? And I lip sync, so I've never sang happy birthday out loud. So I told her that was my goal. And at the end, we recorded it. About 3 weeks later, I happened to be at a restaurant, my friend's birthday. I started singing it. I sang out loud. I mean, not super loud, but regular volume at the restaurant. And I almost cried. I didn't realize how good it felt to be able to sing happy birthday to a friend. So I'm having these little life-changing moments everywhere I go.
And your goal is to talk to women that aren't necessarily exactly like you, maybe believe different things, have different interests as you. How do you go about actually picking the women you choose in every state?
Yeah, so my only criteria was that the person communicate well, because I'm traveling and I need them to show up at the restaurant. So that was my only criteria. So these are women from the ages of 20s to 60s, all different, like you said, beliefs, political, religious, different races, different economic levels, education levels. So my idea is when we sit down, any of those things actually haven't even come up, because we're focused on what makes us similar, what connects us. And when we focus on that, all the things that may separate us don't really seem to matter.
Well, as a self-described friendship expert, what advice maybe can you give folks at home who are really trying to make those connections as an adult?
I think make the first move. I was really surprised at how willing people, even strangers who didn't know me at all, were to meet with me.
Wow.
So I think that's my first piece of advice. And sometimes it's scary, so it could just be, start with hello, maybe after an exercise class if that's your comfort level. But make the first move would be my first piece of advice.
So after you finish visiting all 50 women, you're planning on writing a book about this, right? Yes,
and I'm writing as I go along, so I don't forget any of the morsels I get, because after I meet with these women, as I'm driving back to my hotel, I'm just filled with all these thoughts about how that meeting affected me.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. Where are you headed to next?
I drive actually later this afternoon to Georgia.
Well, safe travels. Thanks for stopping here in Tennessee. If you would like to follow along with Sherry on the 50 States Project, we have a link to her Instagram and her TikTok account, so you can find it on our website, newschannel5.com.